Well, welcome everybody to our November meeting. We're glad you could join us, and we've got a healthy crowd. So let's get going. And welcome. Here's our agenda for tonight. We've got a very short annual general meeting. I'm sure everybody will cheer at that news. Then a bunch of announcements and news. Our key speaker, Ben, and any upcoming branch meetings. And upcoming branch meetings. So let's get started. I'd like to acknowledge the lands and peoples of the Mississaugas of Scugog Island First Nation, the Chippewas of Georgina Island First Nation, and a large Métis community. We recognize the lands on which we gather are covered under the Williams Treaties and rest within the traditional territory of the Mississaugas. We honor, recognize, and respect these nations as the traditional stewards of the lands and waters on which we meet. So at this point, I'd like to start the annual general meeting with my chair's report. So Durham Region Branch was formed in 1982, and we still have some of our original founding members working as volunteers. The office and library have been open to appointments for in-person research for a year or two now. We have approximately 4,100 library items into our Excel spreadsheet, which we will eventually get over into an online catalog. We also now have a table of duplicates available for people to take for a voluntary donation, so don't hesitate to come and join us. We just have to make sure we're here, and the email to contact is durhamresearch@ogs.on.ca. We have added over 60 yearbooks to our Ryan Taylor collection of yearbooks. And if you'd like to make a donation of yearbooks for schools in the Durham region, please contact us. We'll take them all willingly. We continue to use the Zoom platform for our meetings and drop-ins. We've had some successes and some failures as we learn the process of presenting hybrid meetings. Our December meeting will be hybrid as well, but with full winter in January and February, we will be Zoom only, and March is gonna wait for the weather. We'll see. So presenters enriched our branch meetings this last 12 months with topics on exploring family search, doing research in your pajamas, life in Canada in the early 1800s, breaking down brick walls, Old Brock Township, research strategies, telling family stories for posterity, Canadian women in uniform, and today a DNA talk about the Leeds method. Many people have attended our meetings via Zoom, expanding our audience greatly. Our show and tell meeting this December will feature members showing some of their heirloom stories and research finds. So I hope you'll join us. Our DNA special interest group still continues virtually, but restricted to a private email group due to privacy concerns as we demonstrate the DNA testing websites to each other, discuss new features, and celebrate new discoveries. Our publication sales on the OGS Marketplace have done well. The compilation of the Old Ontario County 1861 Tremaines map indexes by township.
You're gonna sit there. Can you turn it down?
Great addition to our market. Someone has their microphone on. If they could turn it off, please. Okay. Our newsletter maintained its high quality again, but the lack of a newsletter editor is keenly felt, and the team is working hard to keep our newsletter going. Send in your stories, please. We love new content and want to share in your discoveries. We are looking for volunteers to fill some holes in our team, newsletter, social media, and program, just to mention a few. Respectfully submitted, Nancy Trimble, Chair. So that is our annual report. Then I'm going to go to our call for volunteers. You heard me mention it in the report. Volunteers are always welcome. Distance doesn't matter anymore. If you can help in any way, please contact me at durhamchair@ogs.on.ca. Please help us keep our branch moving forward. There are many jobs to be done. You don't have to be on the council, but indeed, we would sincerely be grateful for more help. At this point, I'd like to mention Volunteer Service Awards, and we had 3 people that we submitted this year, 2 of whom are here in the room. So, Dan, if you could turn the camera on and turn it towards yourself.
Oh, this is good. Now I have to change the view a little bit here, I guess.
So you turn the camera around.
Yeah, but it's still not showing anybody, is it?
Oh.
I have to. I guess we're now seeing.
There you are.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. So in recognition of Dan, 20 years, there you are. That includes your certificate and your pin. And it's your turn to be on camera for 30 years. So congratulations. Okay, that's good. And our third person, I don't know what she's thinking about. She's in Australia on a cruise. So she will get her pins when she comes back. And this is our current team members that are returning from last year. I think any one of them would certainly be willing to help anyone who volunteered to become very comfortable with us. I just want to make a note that our virtual social research and drop-in, which is the 4th Thursday of every month at 11 a.m., has a new sign up. We ran into problems 2 months ago and had to do a re-sign up. It's on the front page of our Durham website. Speaking of which, the OGS has been under one of those denial of service attacks, and they put in a new security step. But something that isn't always working is if you try and access OGS and you are using www.ogs.on.ca, remove the www. I had to do the same for our website because we are off of the OGS website. So if you can't get to a branch or the main OGS, look at your URL and take out that www, and then you'll get in. So on November 23rd is our next Zoom social and research and whatever people want to talk about. So I'm moving on to the OGS conference. Just want to say that they've come out with quite a few details. There's going to be a mini conference on the Thursday about artificial intelligence and genealogy. That will be an extra charge. You'll have to sign up for it separately when you're signing up for the conference. There are tours on Thursday and Friday, the Irish in Ontario, archives and libraries visits, multiple, Fort York and Montgomery Inn. They have workshops Friday, Saturday, and Sunday by Your DNA Guide. I presume that's Diane Southard, who is a marquee speaker, along with Blaine Bettinger, Johnny Pearl, Paul Milner, and Chris Payton and Ron Ahrens. They're planning 62 sessions, 31 speakers, 50 plus marketplace exhibitors, a Hall of Ancestors and Genealogy Jeopardy. So it looks to be a hopping good time. Now, if you are an OGS member, they are opening up the registration 2 days early for you to get the best seats. Okay. There are some sessions that have limited numbers of seats. I'm presuming probably that artificial intelligence one, probably some of the DNA ones. So if you're a member, get right in there November 13th. That's next Monday. And for those who are not members, the registration opens on Wednesday, the 15th. And I follow Gail Deaver on her Genealogy a la carte blog, and she was the first to break the news that Ancestry has got their global, and that I mean global, the whole world, military collections open until November 11th. You will probably need to have a free guest account. Under local news, the Uxbridge Genealogy Group November meeting is Thursday the 16th at the Uxbridge Library. It says on Zoom, but that Zoom is for members who have paid. The speaker is Michelle Janot, and we had her last January on exploring family search. This time she's talking to them on military records. So if you're in the Uxbridge area, drop by. And the Lakeshore Genealogical Society, tomorrow night, is having Glenn Wright, our last month speaker, speaking on researching Canada's war dead. And if you are going to join them by Zoom, that's the email that you need to contact them with. And with that, I am going to introduce our feature presentation, our speaker, Ben Dawson. He's going to be talking about what do you do when you get your DNA results and you're overwhelmed because you got all these matches, and what do we do? What's our first step? How do you get organized? What ancestral lines are each of the matches related to you? So one of the best tools, and Ben's going to show it to us, is organizing your matches using the Leeds method. Ben is a lifetime resident of London and has deep ancestral roots in the London and Westminster Township area, as well as Huron and Bruce counties dating back to the early 1800s. Ben took up genealogy in his 20s and has been a member of Ontario Ancestors for the last 8 years. He must have twitched at some point in one of the annual general meetings because he's the current co-chair for the London and Middlesex branch, has spoken at many branch meetings for the Ontario's Ancestors on topics such as cemetery transcription, genealogical software, genetic genealogy. He's also been very involved in the social media side of Ontario Ancestors and helps run the Facebook page, as well as 2 additional genetic genealogy Facebook groups. Ben is a director at large on the board and several committees for the OGS. Retired since 2006. Ben, you look too young to be retired. How'd you manage that? He's a frequent speaker at family history and genealogical events, especially the OGS, with a special interest in military history and the men and women who have served in uniform. Oops, wait a minute. I'm sorry, that little bit was a hangover from last month. It sounded familiar. So I'm going to stop sharing and let Ben share his. Upcoming meetings. I just got handed 2 emails of people who are here in person. That was easy. Okay, so we do have a DNA special interest group, and it will be meeting a week, maybe 2 weeks. No, week tomorrow. It is, as I said, a closed email group just for privacy of our matches. But, by all means, just give me a quick email. There's 2 emails there, and I will add you to the group. No problem. Our next meeting is our December annual show and tell, or bring and brag if you come in person, and our Christmas social. And, if you are trying to hold something up to your camera on your computer, it does not work. So please send me your photos ahead of time. It's not too early to think about what you want to share or ask. I mean, it can be a photo, a medal, an heirloom, tricky piece of research that came out well, or even a plea for help. So join us. It will be good. And if you attend in person, you can bring a few treats and we'll supply the drinks. Non-alcoholic, of course. Our January meeting is Linda Korup. She's going to be calling something really and truly the Father. She's started another source of genealogical transcribed information. She has a knack for finding unique record series at the Archives of Ontario, I'll tell you. Bastardy oaths, also known as oaths of affiliation, are usually dated between 1837 and 1921, reflecting the legislation that was in force at those times. Most haven't survived, but about 8 districts and or counties, including the old Newcastle district, which includes the old Durham county, has been transcribed. So she's going to tell us all about this lovely set of records. Now, if you find what we've been doing and that the speakers we've scheduled are valuable, we invite you to go and click on our donation button on the left side of our homepage and make a donation to the branch, and you'll get your tax receipt automatically by email. It's a very slick system at Canada Helps. We are open in our research room Tuesdays and Thursday mornings, 10 to 1. We do ask you to make an appointment because if we're working on the 3rd floor and they've got the front door of the church locked and we're not expecting you, it might be a wasted trip for you. So I thank everybody for attending. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We hope to see you at next month's meeting. Thank you very much. And thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Nancy.
So I'm ending the meeting now. Good night, everybody.